Red TV, coming live from the Spy Klopp. I'm not going to tell you where because you'll all be here. Anyhow, I am honoured and absolutely over the moon to be joined by two of my fellow colleagues from Anything Liverpool. Brother from another mother, the voice of treason, Alred. How you doing, pal?
I'm
Hope
doing
you're
very
good.
good.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, Craig.
Oh, it's a pleasure. You were the first two people I thought of, and we've got the up and coming stats wizard, young Ben. How are you doing, mate?
I agree to disagree. I don't like stats.
No. No. I think football doesn't need stats like we need stats like we need VAR after last night because it was shocking. But anyhow, tonight's agenda. Obviously, Liverpool played in Inter Milan last night, the San Siro, which was I was quite nervous about at the beginning. Because I didn't know what was going to happen after what had unfolded after the Leeds United game on Saturday night when we were cruising at 2-0 and then we just threw it away. And then, obviously, the bombshell hit. And as soon as it went viral, it was basically Mo Salah burnt the house down on Saturday night. It went viral, and the last 72 hours, it's been an absolute nightmare for a Liverpool fan because basically we've become a laughing stock and a circus. So I'm not going to say I'm not going to say what I think at the minute. I'm going to open the floor to you two guys. I want your thoughts on the Mo Salah interview, on what your actual reactions was when you first heard what he'd said, and you've had time to digest it like everybody else. What your thoughts are. So I'm going to open it to you first, Alred, and let me know what you think and how you felt.
For me, it is how Salah operates, or his agents tell him to operate. He only uses media and social media for self-interest. He's done it before, and he did it again. He when he's also been criticized for not as a part of the captain's team coming out and support the team and try to say we're working together and everything like that. And when it's criticized for not doing that and just using media when he needs it, and then 2 minutes later he goes and does exactly that. And I really don't care if what he said is true or not. If someone wants him out or not. I mean, if everything he said is 100% correct, you don't do it. Like you and I said before the stream, Craig, if I had done that to my employer, if I had gone out in social media on the national TV and slagged my leader and my company, I would have serious issues. And you don't do that, period. True or not, you don't do it. We have buckets of examples in the club today that do not go out in the media who could do it. We have Robbo, who lost his place to Kirkis. We have Chiesa, who hasn't played in 2 years almost. They are not content with the situation, but they do not go to the media. So for me, yeah, you don't.
Yeah, fair enough. I think you're right in what you're saying there, and it's still a bit of pill to swallow for me. I mean, the thing is, you never saw legends like my hero on the right here. I mean, if you guys could see my wall here, I'd love to know what you think of it. Emlyn Hughes, Kenny Dalglish wouldn't do anything like this. This Steven Gerrard wouldn't do it. Jordan Henderson wouldn't do it. The person who's upset, who's let me down in this most of all, I think, as a captain, is Virgil van Dijk. I thought he would have stepped up and probably. It's looking like he's going to have to be the middleman and the go-between here. But what do you think, Ben?
I think that I said that after it calmed down a bit that the timing of it was poor. I think he should have waited, because what he's done now in a way is he's given Slot a sense of immunity. If his problem was with Slot solely and he wanted Slot sacked, he should have waited a week or two, because as the performances and results were going, Salah was going down the path of getting sacked.
Mm.
Then Salah comes out and goes nuclear, and now Salah's got the backing of the club all over again.
Yeah, he went nuclear. Do you not think he knew what he was doing when he did it?
Oh, he definitely knew what he was doing. Salah doesn't do things uncalculated. He's not stupid. He's calculated.
I mean, for football, he's very clever, and footballers are not very clever, to be fair. I mean, footballers are like doctors. You can't read the autographs of most footballers. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, my best mate, I messaged him tonight with these 3 questions because he's still working yet. So I asked his opinion. His name's Andy, and he's got an eye to gold. He looks after people with dementia and end of life. So he doesn't finish work till 8 o'clock. So I've asked his opinion on this. This is what he said about Salah, and you let me know what you think. Your opinions matter for me on this. He's put on the Salah interview. I thought it was choreographed and precise to maximise pressure on Slot. I do think him and a couple of other players aren't happy with the style of play, etc. And I think he stopped before it worked, so he wanted his way.
Can I just say I agree? It's orchestrated. This is done in cohesion with his agents and team around. And
Yeah.
and my thing is, let's say there are people who wants him out. Let's say Edwards and Hughes and everybody says, okay, he's on the decline. We need to get money for him, so we have to sell him before he's not worth anything. Let's just say that. The timing, they would then try to make him unhappy, so he would do this. And now he can go on and do this and then leave. There is no. I mean, if he had been here all through December with this pressure cooker, with these announcements that could have poisoned the group, he's gone in a week. So he's out of sight, out of mind. We can work what we want, and if he wants to be somewhere else, or someone wants him to be somewhere else, they can work that out while he's away, while he's not poisoning the dressing room.
Your thoughts on what Andy said, Ben?
Everything footballers say is choreographed. Most footballers only care about themselves at the end of the day, so they're not going to say something unless they reap some benefit. So yeah.
I mean, I've always said, and I'll still say it now, and I'll say it till I draw my last breath. There's no loyalty in football, none at all. And for my take on the Slot situation is, when he knew he wasn't playing against Leeds United, he sat there he's had 90 minutes to think about what he was going to say. And then he's gone into the mix zone again, like he did at Southampton. He's only ever stopped in 8 years. He stopped in the mix zone 3 times to give interviews, and he knew the last time he did it was over the contract. He was kicking up over that. He had a go at Jurgen Klopp again at West Ham United, if you remember that spat he had with Jurgen, right? So, and then he's done it again here. Now, apparently, from what you've probably read the same things as me this afternoon. But apparently they've had a meeting, Richard Hughes, Ernie Slot and Mo Salah won't apologise. Now, for me, this is a 33-year-old man, and he's behaving like a 5-year-old. Now, I'm sorry, but I know fans are going to side with Mo Salah because he's the favourite player, but what they've got to remember here is, we're only fans. Mo Salah's an employee of Liverpool Football Club. They pay his salary. He's on 400 grand a week. Now, for me, I can see a situation where it happened at Real Madrid, if you remember. Nicolas Anelka was banished from the first team squad because he was doing exactly the same thing as Salah were doing. He was banished from the first team, made to train with the reserves. He played in the semi-final of the Champions League, scored in the home and away leg. They got to the final. He scored in the final for Real Madrid. They won the European Cup. And 4 weeks after that, Real Madrid sold him. Now, I think what Mo Salah's done, this is his way of getting out the club.
Like you said, loyalty is nowhere in football anymore, and that goes both ways. It goes both ways, both for the club and both for the players. But loyalty is gone, but professionalism isn't, and that is an issue. I mean, Harvey Elliott went on loan because he didn't get playing time. How
Yeah.
many times did we see him cry in the media last year?
Exactly. Yeah.
We had the same with Kelleher. He said he wants to play every week. That's something different.
Mhm.
And he didn't cry anything. We have Chiesa, who doesn't play, he doesn't cry anything. We have Robo, as I said, who lost to Kirkes, doesn't cry anything. There may have been discussions. There have been fist fights, for all I care, in a weightlifting room, for all I know.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get out, and that's the problem. And I'm not going to stereotype here, but this is for me African players with African agents
Yeah.
are more cynical, in my opinion, from what I have experienced so far.
Yeah.
And Mo Salah is a great player for Liverpool. He has been, and that's why it hurts.
Yeah.
If it had been Roy Williams who's done this, nobody would have cared.
No.
But it is one of the legends, and then
Yeah.
it's just, yeah.
He's tainted his legacy, I think, definitely. Because if there's two lads who have a right to come out and say the club have thrown me under the bus, is Watayo Endo and Federico Chiesa. But
Yeah.
they're still doing what they're asked to do. They're turning up for every training session, training twice a day. They're coming on and being asked to do a job when the manager puts them on. They're not sulking. They're not crying.
And they both kind of know they're not playing. They know they're not playing, even what they do on the training field, and nothing.
And from what I've seen today, is it's looking like Salah's not going to be included in the game on Saturday against Brighton either. So that'll be 5 games he's missed.
I think he's going to be subbed on.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get 10, 15 minutes maybe, just to say goodbye to the traveling cup, and then he's fucked off.
Yeah. So moving on to the other guy who's in the other guy who's in the blue corner in this, Arne Slot. I watched his press conference before the Milan game, and I've watched the one after it, and it was just Salah all again. But to you, Ben, first on Arne Slot, how do you think he's handled himself and handled the situation, considering he had to prepare the team for a massive game last night in the Champions League on the back of all this? How do you think he's dealt with it?
Well, me personally, I don't think he's really dealt with this situation himself. I think this was Hughes and Edwards. They've took the big decisions off Slot's hands so we can focus on the game. So I'd say how they've handled it is completely different to how Slot's handled it. 'Cause I think Slot's in a way, he's a yes man. He'll just do what they want because, well, Hughes and Edwards, they like that kind of manager or coach. So Hughes and Edwards, they would have made the decision. I mean, it came out that it was ultimately Hughes that said Salah shouldn't go after discussions.
But then how do you think he's handled the press conferences? Because even though he maybe not have done the decision, he has to face the music when the press. How do you think he's handled that?
I think he actually handled it quite well, in fairness to him. He's not let it get to him. He's not responded back angrily like, "Oh, shut up, man, I'm sick of this." He's answered all questions as well as he can. So he's done well to be fair. But to be fair, just with the pressure of needing the win last night as well to keep up hopes of top 8, you can't say he's done bad. You could have many criticisms of Slot this season, but you can't criticise him for how he acted in the media.
How do you think he's handled it, Harold?
Well, I kind of agree. I agree with Ben. I think this, since Slot is not a manager, he's just a coach, head coach. I think this is Edwards and company decision. He's been included, but this was done over his head, and I think he's done what he can do in this situation. Like Ben said, he's answered the questions as good as he can.
Yeah,
he gets a little bit annoyed because it was just Salah. He at one point said, "Well, can we try and talk about the game? So,
Yeah.
and I think that's within his limits. I mean, within his rights to say, because you know, if not, especially the English media will just yap on all the day. So, I think he's done what he can do. And the performance and the result we got yesterday kind of made the press conference afterwards a hell of a lot easier, because if that had ended like a 4-0 defeat, oh boy, we would have some serious issues. But I think he's done what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, I sympathise with Arnie Slot because I've watched both the press conferences, and I agree with you, what you've just said there. You could see his frustration because at the end of the day, he's had to prepare a team with a minimum of 19 players, go to the San Siro to face a team what's not lost at home in 3 years in the Champions League. Let's not forget. And he's just being bombarded with the questions about one person. And I thought he kept his cool. I thought he handled himself really, really well. And he deserves a bit of credit for that, because there's no doubt he's under pressure and he's feeling it. And at the end of the day, Liverpool fans have always backed the manager. They've never turned on a manager at Liverpool. If they have,
Roy Hodgson.
Roy Hodgson's the only one I can think of. Right, and I've got nothing against Roy Hodgson. The thing against Roy Hodgson there was, because you've got to look at his CV and it'll rank against anybody. Unfortunately, he came to a club which was too big for him to handle. That's all, you know.
Yeah.
Because I've met him as well when he was manager of Palace, and he's a lovely fella, and I don't wish him any ill or any harm. But I think, you know, with Arnie Slot, I think he's handling himself well. He's dealing with the situation the best he can. Andy, my friend, he's got three answers for you here, and his answer to the Arnie Slot one is, and I want you both opinions on this. Again, he says, I think Slot can't find his first 11. There are a lot of changes each week, and he's getting it wrong a lot. I think he handles the media well, and he seemingly hasn't crumbled under pressure.
What was the last bit there again?
Right. He handles the media well and seemingly hasn't crumbled under pressure. So both of your thoughts on that?
Do you want to go first? Oh.
You go first, Ben.
Okay.
Age before beauty.
Beauty before the beast. Yeah, I think Salah has handled the media well. So you can't like I said, you can't put that against him. He's a well-spoken person. I've never heard that against him, but I would disagree with I agree with the things that your friend said about on the pitch. He's getting lots wrong on it. Like, it's all well and good that you're getting things well off the pitch, but at the end of the day, what we're interested in as fans, and most importantly, is what he does on the pitch. And he's getting so much wrong. And I've especially been very critical of him in both group chats we've all been in.
It hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is annoying because the changes are fairly simple. And I said in the group chat last night that life without Gakpo is very nice so far. And it continues.
Yeah.
We have 3 games where we didn't lose with Gakpo, so you know.
Yeah, but we also didn't win, and we barely created any good chances.
We won 1.
Yeah, the worst team in the league, the second worst team in the league. I'm just not going to count that like that. So honestly, second worst team in the league. If we didn't beat West Ham, then he should have been sacked at half time, really.
Well, I've just read something before I came on stream. I don't know how much truth is in it or not, but apparently Gerard Bowen is looking for a transfer in the summer.
Don't blame him.
Well, how old is he?
He's too old for Liverpool now, but I've always liked him. I think that ship sailed for us, really. But
most Spurs kind of or United player ever.
I hope he doesn't go to Man United.
Neither do I. He deserves better, but he's such a Spurs player. Like
Everton, as long as he doesn't go to Everton or Man United, I'm not bothered where he goes.
No.
So anyway, moving on to the game last night. What was what was your before we discuss the game? What was your first thoughts when the team dropped?
I was interested. I'll let you go. Actually, I went first last time, didn't I? So I'll let you go.
Yeah, well, it's okay.
No, it doesn't matter. Jump in when you want, Perrier.
I think the team was the best he could do. I mean, we didn't have a bench at all. I mean, we didn't even fill the bench. So not starting with Wirtz, I think was correctly. I think he set up the team like we have been discussing a few weeks in previous group chats and the new one. I think he put up the setup and formation correctly, and I think if things had gone sideways yesterday against a very strong home team in Champions League, who, as you said, haven't lost in 3 years, with the injuries and the lack of players and the lack of performance we have had so far this season, by slot faults or not, I think he did the best he could anyway, and I think he got it. I think he did a good job yesterday with whatever he had available, and thank God Inter wasn't a very high pressing team. That helps us a lot. It gives us confidence. It gives us belief in what we're doing. So I think he did what he could.
Ben?
I said after the game that I had many concerns with what happened in the game. I still think Inter had their way with us in a way. Like when every time they tried to get a good attack going, they didn't. They did it. They could have easily scored 2 or 3 if Thuram or Martinez didn't mess around around the box. Then they went for highlight reels instead of goals. That's what I said that on Twitter. I said that in the group chat. They messed around instead of playing football, and we got lucky with that. We also got lucky that the main creator went off after 9 minutes. Carnoglu.
Yeah, we got lucky there. I think looking at the game, the way I think when the team dropped, I looked at it and I thought I was surprised that Wirtz was on the bench, to be honest with you. But looking at the players he took over, that was the strongest 11 he could put out.
Because Wirtz had a feeling he had some issues, so they didn't take any chances.
Yeah.
So that is why he did what he had to do.
You know, and we started off quite comfortable. We weren't under any pressure. We were dictating the tempo of the game right from the offset for me, which was something we've not done for a long time. I was happy with the system he was playing as well. The lads looked comfortable with that last night for some reason or another. You know, and another thing as well, I thought the referee was atrocious again. Some of the referees in this Champions League this year, they've been abysmal, considering it's the top club competition in Europe. They're not doing themselves any favours. So, like, if this is the refereeing standard in the Champions League, then God help us when it comes to the World Cup in the summer, in America and Mexico and Canada. You know, but I thought we played really well last night, and I thought Curtis Jones played well last night as well.
He did, yeah.
And Ibu stood up. Ibu didn't do much wrong last night, and I thought, yes, it was handball, no doubt about it, but it was bloody harsh for it to be disallowed. I don't know what you two think.
I think both decisions were wrong. Our first goal should have stood, but the pen shouldn't have stood. When I was watching the game last night, and even both me and my dad, we were like, "How is that a penalty? It's very soft."
Oh, yeah,
I disagree. That's.
I mean, I understand where people come from, because, like, if you took someone's shirt in most parts of the pitch, it's a foul and probably a yellow card. But in the box, like, I think Wirtz went down way too easily.
That he did, but the problem, and I will refer to, it's not the same pulling. But if you go and look to World Cup '98 in France, Norway against Brazil, you see the same shirt pulling, not the same strength and power in the pulling. But when it is that clear and obvious, they have to take it, and that's what made it a penalty. I agree he falls too easy, but when it is that everybody holds, but when you have a tent in the back of your shirt, you can't overlook it and say he falls too easy. So it is soft because it falls easy, but it's correct because it's so obvious, and that's the issue, and that is why. I mean, when they disallowed the first goal after using almost 5 minutes.
I know.
5 minutes just to
I was
five.
like,
There were 5 minutes to
5 minutes
find
for
some,
VAR.
yeah,
To the
and,
time
and,
to go
and
and check the monitor. That's great.
yeah, and it's not, if you're using 5 minutes, it's not fucking clear and obvious,
You
in
know,
my opinion.
I've been thinking about this today.
But can I just finish there, Craig?
Yeah, sorry, mate. I've got a question for you both, actually.
Oh yeah, but I think the way we, like Ben said, I think I'm looking at the stats here. And when it comes to, we have 142 expected goals, and they have 0.44. They have total 9 shots, and we have total 12. They have 2 on target. We have 5. So, well, it is foot mob. I have it here.
I wasn't disagreeing with you. There's a comment asking how I was born in 1998.
Sorry? Oh yeah. Okay, I thought we disagree. Okay, but the point, but the numbers I'm talking about now is, this is an away game against a very strong team, and we have been a team in shit form for 3 months, and we're pulling 50-50 possession and higher expected goals, more shots on targets, and more big chances than Inter. So I don't agree with Ben saying they had their way with us. They had big chances. The header it could have been a goal. I'm not saying that, but
from Martinez.
You have to concede some good chances against that good team on an away ground.
What I meant when I said Inter had quite the way is, like, it was very easy for them to pass around us and get to the 18-yard box. Yeah, they didn't get the shots off, but maybe on some occasions that was down to the defending. Fair enough, but sometimes they make terrible decisions.
I mean, the chance they could have scored off there with Martinez. One thing it proved to me, this, because if you watch that back, one thing this has proved to me is that Virgil van Dijk's losing his pace, because Martinez took two steps back, and then as soon as he's gone 2 steps back, he's gone 2 steps forward and lost Van Dijk. Got the header in, and a great save from Alisson Becker. But I agree with what both of you are saying. I mean, I was surprised that Bastoni made the mistake he made, because I expected him to have a solid game last night. But, I mean, to be fair, I mean, when we got the penalty, I agree with Ben. When I watched it, I thought, that's never a penalty. That is way, way too soft. But considering that we had a goal disallowed for which it wasn't blatant on ball, so the goal could have stood. It wasn't blatant, and it wasn't Konaté's fault. But so considering what had happened with the first goal, okay, I'll take it. And then Szoboszlai, as cool as you like, what a penalty that were under that pressure. Absolutely brilliant. And I'm going to be controversial here now, right? You two guys might not. And I love this fella to death, and I've just mentioned him, Virgil van Dijk. But if I was Ernie Slot, now you know what I would do. I'd take the captain's armband off him and give it to Szoboszlai.
Well, you can't do that, but
Why?
he should be made, because you can't do that mid-season. That's
the
point.
You can if your captain's not doing his job, which Van Dijk's not doing.
I think he should take the vice captaincy from Salah and give it to Dominic, and I think Dominic should be the next captain.
Without that, he's looking like he's performing like a captain. That's for sure.
Performing like Steven Gerrard. Yeah.
No, let's not be silly now.
Yes.
He's better than Gerrard.
He's the first player since Steven Gerrard has played all 9 games.
You know something? I mean, I've got nothing against Steven Gerrard as a player, nothing at all, because what I mean, I've got one of his DVDs here, the Gerrard final against West Ham in the FA Cup. What he did as a player, I mean, he single-handedly carried that club for 8 years on his own, maybe 10, and he won us and he pulled us back into probably the greatest Champions League final ever, unless you want to count the one with Man United and Bayern Munich. I think they're the best two European Cup finals I've seen in the modern era. But with Steven Gerrard, I think the way Stevie G played, the way we are at the minute, he's the type of player we need.
Without a doubt. And
Instead of McAllister.
We see when, and also when the words come in, those two players with those legs, that's very, very good and very important.
Wirtz changed the game for me last night. I don't know what you think, Ben.
Yeah, I agree. He brought some urgency to our attacks because, I mean, like you say, we were very comfortable last night, but we also took no risks, really. It was just a lot of sideways and backwards, whereas when Wirtz came on, there was more forward, which is what helped a lot, and Bradley as well.
I mean,
Wirtz reminded me of Gappo yesterday. It was very good.
I mean, I'm hoping Ernie Sports. I can hear people chucking stuff at the screens from the other lads on Anfield Rap. Adjit and Deck's probably choking on his beer at the minute as we speak. I don't know, but I mean,
but I agree with Ben, and I think that was I agree with Ben that we weren't very attacking minded maybe before he came in, but that was kind of the plan. We had to be compact and play a little bit safe, and when you're on a away ground in the Champions League, it's not your duty to entertain.
No, and the San Siro is not an easy ground to go to win,
especially when you're playing against Inter. Like you say, no away team's gone there and wanting to Bayern Munich in late 2022,
No.
So if you go there and try and play 4-3-3 and think you're the king, you're just stupid.
I mean, yeah. What did you think of the formation and the system he played?
It's what I've wanted him to do for ages. I've been saying that get those three midfielders on the pitch more often, because there are three best midfielders. Well, three of the four of them are our best midfielders, and in an ideal world, the midfield going forward is Wirtz in the more attacking role, with Jones, Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai behind it, doing like the legwork and the defending and all that, and the progressive passes and all that. In my opinion, McAllister at Liverpool is done. He's not got the physical ability or the running power to be a Liverpool midfielder. He's a good technical player on his day, but you're in the Premier League. Just being technical isn't going to get you far in this league. You need to be really physical. And you see that with teams like Arsenal and City. They have technical players, but they also have lots of physicality. And that's why right now they're the two best teams in the league.
I mean, what do you think, Harold? I mean, I think looking at last night, I think that the system he played, I'm hoping Ernie slept last night and thinking, right, this is worked away at the San Siro for us. So why would I change it now coming up to the weekend? Would you do the same against Brighton?
Oh yeah, every day and 2 times on Sunday. That's what's been working for us for the last few games. That's given us a win and a few points. So without a doubt, half agree when it comes to McAllister. He's not the player that he used to be, but when it comes to he has
his moments when he wants.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about he does a very good defensive job. He's not the quick as he used to be, but he's smart. He's football smart. He positions him well. If you look at how many free kicks he's given because he's at the right place, he gets the ball, he goes into a tackle or whatever. That is very important. I'm not saying he's irreplaceable, but he does a lot of dirty work. He is not credited for, in my opinion.
Mm.
But I agree, if everybody is happy and everybody is fresh and uninjured, I would like to see Wirtz, like you said, in an offensive midfielder role with Gravenberg, Jones, and Dominic.
Szoboszlai.
Yeah, but if you're talking about, I don't think, if you lack creativity, Jones is not the man. I think McAllister is more creative. He lacks
Sure.
he lacks other things, but he's more creative. So it is a balance what you need in certain games and situations.
How did
Jones,
how did you both feel about Alexander Isak's performance last night?
underwhelming. Very underwhelming. Thought Ekitike stood out more last night. I mean, I know Isak, you can still say you might not be fit, but at the end of the day, it's nearly 2026. This excuse can't go on forever. He cost 120 million quid.
Well,
He's got to find himself eventually.
yeah, Harold.
Well, the price tag isn't Isaac's fault, just to make that clear. But I think that's the second time they've played together on top so far this season. Even journalists in England have said that this is what, when it comes to Isaac, this is the result you get when you don't have a preseason.
Yeah.
It isn't done in 2 months or 2 days, and he's been injured as well, so he's been relapsing. So for me, that when it comes to Isaac, this season for him is written off. If he gets 2 good months at the end of the season, that's just a bonus for me. When it comes to the performance yesterday, it was not great. He didn't do very well, but I think those two together will be dynamite when it kind of works. When we have gotten all the niggles and naggles out of the team, we perform well. We do know what we do, because Ekitike is more of a fall down meet, play up. So they are very dissimilar. They're not alike when it comes to playing style. So they will complement each other very well when things are starting to pan out. And I think that will be, it's going to happen. It's just going to take some time. And yeah.
I don't think we'll see the best of Isak till next season, to be honest with you.
Yeah. If we're lucky, we'll see it at the end of the season.
Because I've said it all along, and I think most of it is his own fault. If he hadn't have gone on strike at Newcastle, and we all know why he did, so he could get his move to Liverpool. If he hadn't have gone on strike and he'd have carried on playing and then got the transfer, we'd have seen a different Alexander Isak, that's for sure. But just going back to the point you made there, Ben, about Alexis McAllister, I was thinking when you said it, I agree to a degree. I think he's losing a little bit of pace and a little bit of sharpness, because I noticed one last night. There was one instance in midfield. He pulled out of a 50-50. For no reason, he just stopped. And he could have been first to the ball and would have probably been away on another counter-attack. And it's not the first time he's done that this season. He's done it a couple of times. And it's like I said on the last stream when we was on with anything Liverpool. If he's pulling out of tackles, he's going to get a serious injury. And talking about serious injuries, the game last night, that tackle on Andy Robertson, if he'd have connected with his studs on Robbo, that was a leg breaker and a red card all day. But because this is where I disagree with the referee last night. If you watch that back and you watch it at full speed, and you look at how he was nowhere near the ball and he's cleaned Robbo out. But if you look at the severity that he's hit Robbo with, it was a red card anyhow, not just a yellow for me. It was a red that last night. He didn't have to use his studs because both feet were off the floor. I don't know what you two think, but I'd like your thoughts on it.
I said after I saw the highlights, because I missed the initial, seeing it live when it happened first. But when I saw the replay, I was like, Robbo is a very lucky man that his foot was not planted in that moment.
Yeah.
And VAR is going. Their job is to. You can be sent off without kung fu cantona kick somebody. You can be sent off just by force and intention in the tackle, and he comes in with two legs. He, as you say, he don't do the studs, but when the power is that hard and that late, it is a red any day of the
Well,
week.
it was
I
an
mean,
absolute shocker. It was.
yeah,
It was like God. It could have been so much worse. I mean,
Just
you
another
know,
thing.
and the thing is as well. I don't know if you two to agree with me here, but I was concerned for the game last night, and I thought if we don't get a win here tonight, the season's over. I'm not interested in the FA Cup because if we don't get a win here tonight, we're not going to qualify for the last 16. That's for
I don't
sure.
care.
You know, and the thing is, I'm not stupid, and I'm not stupid, and I'm not blind. My eyes don't deceive me. We're not going to win the Champions League unless we have a massive change in fortune of how we're playing. We're not going to win it. I still think the team that will win it will be PSG for me, but I'm just glad that we've come away with a big result from last night because there's a massive game tonight now, and from what I've been reading coming out of Spain, if Real Madrid get beat tonight, Alonso's gone.
I saw something different about that actually. Now that you mention it, apparently now he's got until mid-January.
Right. Because the players are not happy with him.
Guys,
So
when did I say that Slot may be sacked? That was kind of mid-January. Did I say? But Greg,
what are you saying here that Alonso's coming in instead of Slot?
no, I think he will get until the Arsenal game, and that would fit very well with the Alonso situation. But I just want to say, Craig, can you go into the chat? You have a chat
Yes.
here, and
Yes.
put up the bottom post there
Yeah.
on the chat. Can you show that one
Where is it? So I see.
from Gareth?
What's he said? So I see. Right. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Gareth. We move the ball far too slow.
No.
Right. Yeah.
The furthest down.
Yeah, Gareth Unsworth. We move the ball far too slow.
But
Get
not
the best
not
out
that
of
one.
Isak.
There's one at the bottom.
Okay. No, there's not. No, there's only that one.
He's
Yeah,
got
there's only
one
that
where
one.
it says "Evening Aldo," and I wonder if that me.
Oh yeah, that might be you. Yeah, but I mean, there's one here from Gareth Unsworth. He says we move the ball too slow to get the best out of Isak. What do you make of that one?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably why we want Adam Wharton. Much to Stephen's dismay, we want Adam Wharton for that reason. He will progress the ball. He will make the risky pass. That's something we don't have right now. We lost that when Trent went to Spain.
There's one here for you, Ben. There's one here for you, Ben. Was Ben from LFC D9P? Was Ben born in 1998? Do you want to answer that, Ben?
No, I wasn't.
How old are you, Ben?
I am.
He's saying he's 21, I bet you. So when were you born, Ben? It says 1990. Question: was Ben born in 1998? Question mark.
04.
Well,
I don't know.
maybe he's on about with your Gerard links and things.
Sorry?
Maybe he's on about with your Steven Gerrard links and things.
But I think like we talked about Isaac, every striker needs a good service.
Correct.
I mean, if you look at Haaland, he doesn't do shit without the ball. He does a lot of runs. And he tries to move in positions to get the ball, but usually a winger or a striker is an ungrateful job. You do a lot of work where you don't get the ball, and and Isaac is that kind of player. Without service, he doesn't create. There we are. He doesn't create like Ekitike does, or whoever else. But you need different qualities to succeed, and I think he has it, and he's proven a Premier League player. So this, I mean, Isaac's season this year is just like ours. It's kind of written off already.
Yeah. So
you have to move the mic there, Craig. We can't hear you good.
So with the season being written off already, I know you've changed your expectations on winning the league, and I think we all have to a degree. So what's your priority going forward now then, Alred?
I'll let Ben start first.
I don't think the season's a complete write-off. I mean, the Champions League, it's an unpredictable competition. When 2025 started, no one could have ever imagined that PSG would go and win it. They didn't look like they would, but they went on and won it, and they knocked out 3 English teams in the process, including us. So it's an unpredictable competition, and you can never count us out. If we get a centre back in January, it's on, because I do think the one thing we're missing most right now is a extra bit of centre back depth.
Mm.
Well, when I say I agree, Ben. It's not a complete write-off, but we have to.
In the league, it is.
But we have to be honest. We kind of didn't think we were going to be where we are now. 4 months ago, I think most of us were on a pretty high after last season. So, what I mean write-off is that. For me, it's top 4, like you both know. It's what I aim for. If it's 2 or 4, I don't. It's it's same thing, and it's very tight. So it's just, anything can happen still. But and I don't think we're going to win the Champions League.
No.
I mean, bigger miracles have happened. We can, of course, figure everything out in February, and then suddenly when the playoffs kick in, we find our footing and do well. That can happen, but we've had almost 4 months of shit, so it doesn't look that good.
No.
FA Cup, whatever can happen. If you're lucky with the draw and you, as I said, get your footing, you can get a trophy. But for me, top 4 and everything else is a bonus for me.
I mean, we've got Barnsley on the 10th of January in the FA Cup. I've seen the draw, but Gareth's just replied to us, and he's just said qualify for the Champions League next season. Main priority.
Like I said, get top 5, and then anything after getting top 5, because England will get the 5th Champions League spot, because we just have too much teams in Europe right now.
Well, the thing is, lads, if you look at this season, I don't know what you think. This season in the Premier League, it's been absolutely crazy. Because if you look at the league table now, right,
there's like 2 points from second to
and how many points will be? I think with Arsenal losing to Villa last weekend, Arsenal can see what's coming, and Manchester City, unless Haaland gets injured, Manchester City are the main threat. But I wouldn't rule Aston Villa out for some strange reason. I don't know why. But if Liverpool get it, I'm not saying we will, but if Liverpool suddenly come out to this, stop treading mud, and get out of the dark patch we're in,
right,
and we string 4 or 5 wins together, and they drop points, everybody be saying, "Told you it was too early, right? Liverpool off." I don't think we'll win the league, to be fair, but we're not out of it, but I don't think we'll win it, to be fair. I'll be honest with you. I mean, top 4 is the best I can hope for now, unless we have a miracle in the Champions League, and we get a decent draw. Hopefully Arsenal will win the group, finish top at Champions League, and draw PSG like we did last year.
I think the one thing that's kind of keeping us in the game and giving us a little hope is that we kind of picked the season where everybody else also is struggling.
Mm.
You know,
It's not a very like high level, is it? Other
exactly.
than Bayern and Arsenal, but you could count the three teams on your one hand: Arsenal, Bayern, PSG. They're like serious teams that you'd be scared to play, and then the rest is just, oh, okay, you can beat them, but they could beat you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I also said the same thing for the Premier League. There is maybe the the worst season so in a long time. I mean, usually one or two kind of fly off and everything is up for grabs. But now, as Ben said, you have 2 points to the second place and 3 points to relegation almost. It's insanely
Tight.
uneven. Yeah, it's
Mm.
tight, but it's uneven performances all over the board. So
One minute you're third, the next minute you're eighth. It's crazy.
yeah, and you have
Yeah.
one draw and then you're 15th.
Yeah,
so,
well,
so
the thing is, if you look at the performance, if you look at the fixtures at the weekend, and obviously if we go back 3 games, Jamie Carragher said that Arne Slot's got a week to save his job, and he said the minimum he should get is 7 points out of 9, and we've actually took 5 points out of 9, right? And then, but the thing is, because of how we're performing in a very strange way, this has taken the spotlight off another manager who, for me, is on extremely thin ice, and he's only 37 miles away from where I live, and that's Ruben Amorim at Man United. All right, all granted, they beat Wolves the other night, but if they'd have lost to Wolverhampton Wanderers, yeah, I think he was done. His goose was cooked.
like
You know,
Ben said, if we didn't beat West Ham, was the second poorest league team in the league. If United hadn't beaten Wolves, I mean,
mm,
come on.
I mean,
exactly.
we talk about the gap between second to like 12th and 12th to 17th being very tight. You've got all that, and then you've just got Wolves on 2 points. Like,
You know, I mean, if you look at, I mean, if you heard what Daniel Farker said after the game on Saturday night, he said, "I always knew we'd get something out of the game because Liverpool have got an extremely soft underbelly, which we have. You know, I still think West Ham will go down. I just can't see how Nuno's going to save West Ham. You know, but we've got a difficult game at the weekend with Brighton.
Brighton.
You know,
yeah, Welbeck.
um,
I'm not looking forward to playing Welbeck. He's a proper pain.
he knows where the onion bag is, doesn't he?
Yeah, especially against us.
And I've read something today. I don't know if you've read the same thing, Ben and Harold, but I've read something this afternoon. It came up, and it was quite. The person who wrote it was quite serious about it, and apparently Liverpool have matched Manchester City's offer for Antonio Semenyo, and personal terms have been agreed with him. If Mo Salah goes in January. Now, my next question to you both is regarding Mo Salah. Do you think he should be sold in the January transfer window, or do you keep him to see his contract out?
You keep him until the summer.
Why?
Because I think even despite this, there's still a great player there who can be a game changer. And I think in this system we played, especially like last night, I think that system actually suits Salah more. So if Salah just, I'm not saying he should apologise or shouldn't, that's his decision to make. But if Salah does get reintegrated back into the squad, I would like to see him and Ekitike partnered, because I think that worked very well against Madrid a couple of weeks ago.
If he doesn't apologize, there is no way he can be reintegrated with the team.
If he refuses to apologise and doubles down and says, "Oh, he hates Slot," and he won't say sorry to anyone until Slot's gone, then maybe it's a different story.
That was one of sorry, Harold. That was one of my questions to you both. Do you honestly believe that Salah can be reintegrated into the squad?
As of today, no. But we have my point is, I agree that Salah still has qualities, and I think there's still a good player there, and he could still do well for Liverpool. But as today, that is not a possibility when he refuses to apologize. Now he leaves in next week, so he will have time to focus on AFCON. We have time to focus on something else.
Maybe the time away from each other would be good for both parties.
That's my point. I think that break from each other is a good thing. So there is a very good possibility that this is all sorted out when he comes back, and he can play with the team again and try what Ben said. But you cannot have a player who's said what he said, not wanting to apologize, be a potential damaging force to the dressing room. So that leaves only two options, and that is you have to sell him or you have to put him to the reserves. And we all know that what Isak did to get to us. When you're trying to push something through, you cannot be a part of the group. You have to be separated. So yeah, we just have to get through this week, and I think whatever happens in January, that can be all doors are open, in my opinion.
I said in a group chat on Twitter that you bring in Semenyo for Salah, and you just open Semenyo up to an endless wave of backlash, because obviously a lot of people back Salah online, and no matter what Semenyo does, if he comes in as a Salah replacement, he's just never going to be able to satisfy that subsection of Liverpool fans that no one takes notice of, really. But unfortunately, they are like a very loud minority.
Yeah. And in one of the chats we are in, there was someone that says Emery is now confirming that Villa won't be signing Elliott. Well, bring him home then. If Salah could work in that new system of slot, why can't Elliott?
I don't. Maybe as a Wirtz backup, but at the same time, Wirtz or Elliott, I think he only really worked as an impact player. We saw him when he came on. Most of the time, he was good, but when he started, he was not good.
I'm not saying Elliott is going to be first choice anywhere, but my point is, if we sell Salah, and if you bring him back, you kind of one out, one in. I mean, at least when it comes to the squad numbers and depth, I'm not saying the same quality, but you're not leaving yourself short one player, if you understand the math I'm trying to do here.
I mean, the way
Gazzy's answered this. He said it 2 months ago. If performances don't improve from Salah, sell him to Saudi and get the big fee.
Yeah, and I think that's what the club is seeing as well, because he doesn't perform.
I've said I've been a big advocate for this, but Salah only goes if Salah wants to go. Like, you can say what you want about what he said after the Leeds game, but Salah's more than earned his right to decide when it's time to leave Liverpool. If Salah wants to stay, then
I think that was his way of saying I want to leave on Saturday.
Could have been, but
he could have done that better as well.
He could have done it better, yeah. There's a way of doing things, and the thing is, what you've got to realise is the club you're playing for, and the history the club's got and the players what have played for the club in the past, and you can go back. You can go back as long as you want. You can go back to 65 if you want, and before then, and there's a. I would have, if I was Ernie Swart in the changing room. I thought this a couple of days ago. If I'd have been Ernie Swart and what's happened with the results against Leeds United and Sunderland, I'd have gone into that dressing room and said, "Right, lads, listen. every single one of you here, do you honestly believe that you are worthy to wear that red shirt at the minute? And if you don't, what you doing here? Because when you put all that red shirt on, that liver bird what's on your chest, you're not only representing the 60 odd thousand what's in the stadium here, you're representing a worldwide fan base, and you're
It's
letting a lot of people down. Because you know, I mean, I think everybody would have loved to have played for. If I could have been a pro footballer and play for Liverpool, why not? Of course I would. Who wouldn't want to play for Liverpool Football Club?
everyone's dream.
It's something very few people get the chance to do, and I think the way Mo Salah's conducted himself, I think he's let himself down. He's definitely let the club down. He's let the fan base down, regardless of what he thinks. And the thing is as well, Ben and Errol, right? Players come and go, and I said this to Errol in a message on chat. Players come and go, but one thing will always remain: the fan base will always be there, because without the supporters, you've not got Liverpool Football Club. Just look what it was like in COVID when there were no fans in ground and they were playing games. So you don't cut your nose off to spite your face. And like there's some footballers, they don't sign anything for supporters, right? They don't. And I can give you one from Liverpool Football Club now who won't sign anything. Steven Gerrard, right? And God rest his soul. He died 2 years ago, and he was a very good. I became very good friends with him because he's a good friend of my brother's. He used to play for Liverpool and Everton and Ipswich Town in England. David Johnson, and I used to go to his house, and he signed one of my shirts for me. I've got one shirt here. I'll show it you both one day on stream. It was a 50th birthday present off my brother. He just said to me, they was in the pub in Ashton, and my brother said, "Come down, David Johnson's here," and Terry McDermott with her and Bruce Grobbler. So he said, "Bring one of your shirts down." So I took my shirt down and I give it my brother, and then unbeknownstly, he give it to David Johnson. I thought, right, and I didn't think anything of it. So then he rang me, he said, "Come down, kid, I've got something for you." So I went down, and they're in the pub, because there was a pub in Ashton where all the former players go after games at Anfield. It's called the Gerrard's Arms, believe it or not. So that's where they all meet for a beer. So I went in, and they're all having a pint, and our kid went in. So I went over, so I got my brother a drink. So then David Johnson passed my shirt to Dan. He said, "Hey, kid, I've got something for you." So and it was my shirt. And when I opened it, David Johnson had took it to the club, and he got all the legends to sign it for me. And when I say all the legends, Kevin Keegan, Xabi Alonso, Terry McDermott, Kenny Dalglish, Phil Neal, Alan Kennedy, Jan Molby, Bruce Grobbler, I can go on and on and on, Ian Rush. Now, and David Johnson said to me, that shirt is worth more than the current squad put together.
I just want to say, Craig, it's almost Christmas, so if you're not sure, but I want to say something.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I just want to say something when it comes to Salah, and I'm going to say something real controversial here now, because
This is what I want. This is what we need.
I am the voice of reason.
Get them views up.
Sorry?
Get them views up with some clickbait titles.
Yeah. Listen to the old man. I
than me.
I was more hurt when Torres left.
Yeah.
Than I am when Salah leaves. If he leaves now, tomorrow, 2 years, I don't.
Could that be the circumstances of the exit though? Because Torres went to Chelsea.
Sorry?
Torres went to Chelsea, whereas when Salah leaves, and he didn't win anything, Torres didn't, unfortunately, but whereas Salah...
But the reason why that hurt more than Salah is because Torres was a Liverpool player.
Yeah.
You want... Every club in Europe wanted him. He went to Liverpool because he wanted to play for Liverpool. The only reason he left was that 2 or 2.5 years of his time, every promise was broken when it comes to reinforcing the squad and everything. Now, Salah's been benched 3 games. and well, everything's
Yeah.
been broken, so I want to go. I mean, I'm seriously. I don't care if you've been the top goal scorer for 8 years. I would rather have someone who wants to be here, and for me, Torres was a great player. Everybody wanted him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everybody wanted him, and he was a great player. We made Salah a great player. There's a fucking big difference, and for me, Torres was the kind of the first real big signing name for me when I was younger. So that hurt more. He was here a lot shorter time. He left even to a competitor. He won the Champions League with them eventually. So, but my point is that hurt more because he wanted to be here and he was a Liverpoolian. Salah,
Yeah.
I never felt he has been there. He's just been at work.
Well,
Ben,
just
I'm
right. I
excited
mean,
to hear what you
I
say.
agree. But you know something? Yeah, because I've read the stuff what's come on the new chat, and I've read something. I read something Ben put, and I thought, and then because I was watching Monday Night Football, Real Madrid no penalty, Real Madrid VAR. Wow, and I read something what Ben put, and I watched Jamie Carragher's 8-minute rant on Mo Salah, so I listened to what Carragher said, and I thought, you've got a point to a degree. You've got a point, Jamie, because this is a fella, Jamie Carragher, who played over 700 games for Liverpool, and yeah, all right, he wasn't a prolific goal scorer, but he never let Liverpool down when he played. But it's like he said, it's like Carragher said, we signed. He was a flop actually. He went to Roma and he won nothing. He won nothing at Roma. He's won nothing with Egypt. Everything he's won's been at Liverpool. He wouldn't have even been in the shouts for the Ballon d'Or if it wasn't for Liverpool Football Club. So I don't get why everybody's having to go at Jamie Carragher here, because all Jamie Carragher's doing, because he's in a position we're not. He's defending Liverpool Football Club, which is what you do. There's nobody bigger than Liverpool Football Club for me, and I include. The thing is, Ben, right? The thing is, I'm going to put it to both of you two guys now, right? If you look, we're talking about Mo Salah and how he's responded. Look at what Kenny Dalglish has gone through when he was at Liverpool as a player and as a manager twice. Because don't forget, second time they came round, he won the League Cup and then they sacked him. But look how he's conducting himself. He's got a stand named after him. I mean, Salah's not going to have a statue at Anfield. You can bet your bottom dollar on that.
Can I just butt in on the Carragher quote?
You can do what you want, Ben.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I think Carragher went out of line to talk about his Egypt things, because what's been happening with the Egypt national team is so far out of Salah's control that it's not funny.
But the thing is, this is going to have a knock-on effect on Egypt now, because when he goes to AFCON,
that's why I think
Carragher
was out of line.
Liverpool, he's not going to be in the right frame of mind to play for Egypt either, is he?
Maybe not. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. I don't know. I don't know Salah's frame of mind, but that's why I didn't like what Carragher said.
I don't agree with everything he says. But he made some valid points. And just going back to brother Alred there, Gareth's come back at us regarding your former hero Torres. He went Torres. He's commented here on stream. Torres wore his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah, and as I said, he was a big player before he came to us. He chose us, and I mean, it hurt like hell when he left. For me personally, but yeah, I was more sad that he left, even though I was angry that he left. But I knew why he left. We have now a so-called loyal player who's been here for 8 or 9 years, and he's benched 3 games, and it says, "Well, I have lost faith in everything, and I have no." But I just seen the most stupid thing I've seen on TV, and that is I just saw before the free kick for Real Madrid. and they're doing that Icelandic cheering that the Icelandic did in the Euros or whatever it is. Seeing a bunch of sun-tanned royalists from that fucking douchebag country standing there, and when the Icelandic people are doing it, it's Nordic, it's Viking, it's power, and when you see a bunch of white dressed dickheads, and there's a there's no power. I mean, fuck off.
Just to remind everybody who's watching, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything, get the notifications in. And while we have been talking, lads, we have a new subscriber, so welcome to Old Man Dingle. So we have a new member, so it's going all right. I mean, the thing is, we was on a time limit when we was on the other channel, weren't we? But for me, I mean, I'm an old man, so there's no time limit on this stream for me. So when you two lads have had enough, we'll call it a night, because I can talk Liverpool all night. I'm quite happy about
that. Okay, Craig, you're the oldest one of us. You are the only one with a timeline here.
Yeah. I've not got my Zimmer frame yet. It's on order.
Ben's going to walk circles around both of us.
I hope Ben's got some long pants on tonight.
Have you adjusted the camera, Ben, since I kind of made a comment?
Yeah. I'll show that little shuffle forward there then, yeah.
There we are.
Anyway, seriously, I've got a, while you've been talking about former players and that, I've got a question for you both. Now, these answers are going to be completely different because Ben's a lot younger than us. So, my question to you both is, if you could bring any player back, past any former player back, deceased or not, past or present, who would you bring back into the squad now and why?
I think I'm going to surprise both of you because I'm going to go for a player from the Kenny Dalglish days. I'm going to go first of all, Alan Hansen, because I've seen the tapes. I've seen the footages and the games of some of his best performances, and and I agree with what a lot of people say. He was ahead of his time.
He was.
He was what Beckenbauer was, but Beckenbauer had obviously a lot more of a good reputation because Beckenbauer was German and was Scottish.
You've just stole my thunder here, Ben, because in my lifetime, the best centre half I've seen is Franz Beckenbauer. There's been nobody better apart from, if I could bring any one Liverpool player back, now I'm going the opposite way to you, Ben, because the player you've just mentioned, Alan Hansen, he was way ahead of his time. Way ahead. He was a proper cultured centre half, but Alan Hansen took over from the person I want to bring back, and he's the most successful captain Liverpool have ever had. 11 major trophies he lifted. He played 667 games. Right, now he's a centre-half, but listen to this. And if you've not seen it, Ben, go on YouTube and watch his clip. He played 667 games. He signed for Liverpool as a 17-year-old for £640,000, which was a world record for a player then. He scored 49 goals as a defender, not one an header. Right? And one of his goals, I'll never forget it. One of his goals, it was on the opening reel of Match of the Day. It was from the halfway line at Ipswich Town. Tommy Smith laid the ball off him to the left, and he hit it with his right peg on the halfway line. Keeper had no chance. Right, the player I'm bringing back is Emily Hughes.
I knew you was going to say that.
I want to know who the voice of treason or the voice of /reason's bringing back. I bet it's Torres.
No, it's not Torres.
Who is it?
It's between one. It's between. I mean, there are loads of players I would like to see back, but it is one out of these two. I'm going to say one out of these two because I can't decide. And I would have had either Gerrard or I would have had Suarez. Suarez, in his prime, could destroy everybody any day, all day. I mean, come on. Yeah. So it would have been one of those two.
If you want to look at more recent players more in my age, we've had to bring back, if it was possible, bring back Prime Mane.
Prime Mane, yeah. But do you think he would have suited today's system, the way he's trying to play today?
Prime Mane starts for any team in the world. He was the best left winger in the planet for like 3 years, from 2018 to 2021, really, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Would you not bring Fabinho back? Prime Fabinho.
Not compared to Suarez.
Between him and Mane, they're my two main go-tos for old modern players.
There's another player just popped into my head, and I play him on the right instead of Mo Salah. I think he'd be great in this team. What we have now with Arne Slot, Peter Beardsley.
Yeah.
Can't comment.
Oh,
Can't
I tell you what, Ben. He was brilliant, right? And we sold him too soon. Honestly, I will back me up here. I don't know. We sold him too soon, and we sold him to Everton, and he came back
soon
and he
soon
scored
as
at Merseyside derby.
Graham Souness has gone out and said that was one of the biggest mistakes he made when he came into Liverpool.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the list is endless when it comes to players. I would like to see back.
So, anyway, guys, just a question: do you want to carry on, or do you want to leave it there for tonight?
I gotta leave soon, so for me, we can wrap it up.
Okay, guys. So, all right, this has been an absolutely what we've been going for an hour and 15 minutes. It's the first 5 stream we've done, and I hope it's going to be the first of many. Yeah. It's been an absolute pleasure already to have you on, and you, Ben, because I've loved this. It's been a superb conversation. Anyhow, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and you'll definitely see the Three Musketeers here again. And hopefully we'll have a few more ugly faces on screen next time as well. But thanks, Ben. Thanks, Harold. Take care. Look after yourselves. And we'll speak to you in the chat. And if you can do me a favour, guys, while I've got you here now, if you can give me some feedback and let me know what you think and how it's gone, so obviously I can gauge things and we can work. I can work forward. And if there's any topics that you want to discuss, or if you want to host it, then let me know, and then we can do that, and then you can come up with the topics, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem. Okay, guys, thanks very much, and I'll see you all soon. Enjoy the City Real Madrid game. It's currently 14 minutes gone. It's still 0-0.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Take care, guys. And we're done.
Yeah, great.